Welcome to Prestige DIY Products. We'd like to introduce our new Building Center Easy Pick 1-2-3 program. Step 1 is to pick your Prestige column. Step 2 would be the convenience packaging of an installation kit. Step 3 is optional, is an add-on enhancement of the skirts. Our step 1 is to pick your column shaft that you desire for your residence. The taper square is an 8-12 with a 4-foot and a 6-foot in the offering. First, you just want to make sure you have a nice open space so that you can do your setup. Some of the other items that you're going to want to have is a rubber mallet, a tape measure, a pencil. You may need a knife and a little bit of sandpaper, a quick square. And some of the optional use at the end of the install is caulking and a caulking gun and dab. We've chosen to use 2 separate pieces of equipment, so we have a hammer drill and a screw gun that we can do today's install. If you have a miter saw, this is the best piece of equipment to do a quick and easy resizing of your product. We package our products so all the good faces are assembled together so that it limits any opportunity to get them damaged. First step, we'll open up the packaging. We'll use that actually on top of the workstation so that it protects the product. I want to point out the innovation. It's our SmartLock column. That's allowing not to have any external fasteners on the finished face, thus moving this installation process to a completion much quicker than any other products that you'll see in the market space. So we're going to be going over to the area that we're going to do our install. We're going to measure our vertical height. We're going to keep in mind we're going to reduce that size by 1/4 inch so that we can allow for expansion contraction to happen. And we're ready to resize this tapered plane column. Make a mark, 65. We're going to reduce by 1/4 inch to allow for expansion contraction. Making sure that they're all flush. Just going to check my sizing. And we're all ready for assembly. So we're going to take it over to our workstation on our table. So we're going to start with our female panel facing up. Going to move these ones forward, get them out of our way. This is the panel that we want, the female. So we're going to go ahead and take our adhesive, Weld-On 705, and put that down both the outer flight and the inner track. And on the outside face, just to finish up. Now we're going to take the male panel, align it at the top, and let it hang off the table a little bit. So to bring that up into position, push it back on the table, bring the other side out. I'm going to bring that up. So we're going to work that joint all the way up, tapping nice and gently. It doesn't take a lot of force. We're not looking to dent the material. It should only take 20 to 30 minutes for the full install of this column. But again, you have lots of working time for the whole install. And pressing that into position, you're going to be doing this like a pro. It's going to hold itself together. If you have a helper that wants to help you at this point, I'm sure you can welcome them to come and give you a hand to hold it if you're not accustomed to it. Okay, we're ready to do the install, put the post around the structure. Let's go ahead and just take that over. For our next step of our installation for the tapered square column, very important that we establish the center point. To start that, we're going to reference our installation instruction, pointing out that we're going to make all of our measurements from the center line. We've marked the center point, measuring out in both directions on the bottom. The same thing would happen here. Okay, so let's take our 3-side pre-assembled. We're going to slide that around the structural post. Now we have to put our last panel on. Take our Prestige adhesive to the SmartLock corners, both of these flights, both sides. A lot of times it's easier to do this when it's laying down, and the inside flight used quite a bit of adhesive. Now we're ready to put our 4th panel on to finish off the install. Simply align the top, and we'll work that from top to bottom. Remembering not to hit too hard. The next step, step 2, would be the convenience packaging of an installation kit. The installation kit also comes with a Prestige adhesive and the fasteners that are required for the installation. Take our squaring corners, which are part of our installation kit. Going to measure the center point of both the top and the bottom. make a small pencil mark. Okay, we had to resize the tapered column. That means we have to resize our squaring corner and our skirt. So simply take the squaring corner, set it up against the column shaft, and mark the corner where it intersects. Okay, so now lining up that mark. So in installing the rest of our squaring corner at the top, we've lined it up to our center line, and we're gonna go ahead and screw that in. Now we can go ahead and finish installing the balance of the squaring corners. Simply take the adhesive, and we're gonna add some adhesive to the miters, and we're gonna go ahead now and install that. Now bringing those miters together, we're gonna go ahead and screw this corner. So now we're gonna install our upper squaring corner. The squaring corners also help the final presentation of the column, putting it into a perfect square configuration. And we'll insert that screw now. Step 3 is optional, and in the step 3 you can enhance the column with a skirt package. We have a Craftsman skirt, making this available for a complete enhancement to your home. For the column skirt, we're also gonna have to mark this to resize it. We're just gonna finish cutting that through. And now we're gonna have 2 L's. Create a 90-degree corner. We're gonna set that in around the column. We're gonna mark each corner. We're only gonna have to do a 45-degree cut. What we've done in the factory is that we've accomplished beveling one side of your skirt, so now you only have to do a very simple 45-degree cut. Let's go ahead. We're gonna turn this to 45 degrees and then bring the skirt around. We need to cut it back on this side, pulling this tape out of the way so that we can use that for the reassembly. We're gonna simply line up our mark. Okay, so now let's go ahead and put adhesive on 1/2 of each miter. And for the lower base, I like to also put it on the middle strip, excluding number 3. So we're gonna fold that up into a 90-degree corner, square edge going up for the upper, and we're gonna slide that now along the back side of the top of the column. So number 3 with no adhesive backer allows us to simply slide across, readjust, now make permanent contact, sliding the front along, making sure that you have it pressed up against the top, and we're bringing the last item together. As mentioned, we're going to use the adhesive tape to hold this last miter together. First, we're going to get number 3 established because it doesn't have any adhesive tape on before we make contact, and then simply bringing the front face around, pulling it nice and tight so that it brings our miter to a very nice closed corner. We can add DAP on just to close up and make this a seamless fit. We've completed our installation of our Prestige tapered column. Thank you for your purchase of Prestige DIY products. For painting instructions or any other resources, please go to www.prestigediy.com.